Hello everyone! Welcome back to SpaceCorp, the final installment of this awesome board game by GMT Games, which I will show off the box cover for again. There we are, that is SpaceCorp, that is what we are playing here. This is the third era. So there's 3 eras to this game, 3 parts. This is the Starfarers Era now. And we are a bit behind. I will try and lift this up and you can see it. But there is the state of play so far. I am purple, I'm on 26. And the competition is yellow and they are on 34. And we have also, just get a better grip on this. We've also got a new bunch of contracts for this era. There's first colonies with at least 16 value, bases in 4 non-adjacent regions, bases in 3 multi-star regions, 7 progress cards, non-start Starfarer cards in 3 infra slots, and bases in 6 regions. Which may not mean anything to you at the moment because I haven't explained what colonies are, but that's what they are. Unfortunately, the board's going to have to stay kind of down here because there's no room. I can't fit everything on here. I do have a slightly improved mic. I've got a mic stand basically now for the camera, which means I'm not trying to go through a little swing boom thing mounted on the desk here, which is nice. But the only other thing is the focus on the camera. Apologies if it is still slightly blurry. I honestly don't know how to fix that. I think it's just basically because it's a webcam and it's not really designed for this. But it's as sharp, the focus is as sharp as it can get. I'll be explaining what everything is anyway and holding things up to the camera, so you don't need to worry too much. You should be able to see generally the board and what things are. I mean, if you can't read the writing on the board here, then that doesn't really matter so much, as long as you can see what's going on, which you can. I'm not going to do a full explanation of the game. If you want that, then do have a look at the previous couple of videos that I've done on it, but broadly speaking, we're expanding into we were expanding into the solar system. Now we've reached the edge and beyond, and now we've moved out into the stars, which is why it's called the Starfarers Era. And this is from 2150 to 2299 because it says it down here behind the tiles. So we're in the reasonably sort of middle future, not near or far, but it's kind of the intermediate future. So last era was the Planeteers era. That's when we were exploring the outer solar system. And we got a few cards, a few adaptations. So we've got the energy fields, which makes all of our bases secure and protects against the phobe aliens, which we may be encountering in this era. We've got radiation resistant, which is super useful, which means we don't have to worry about radiation, which would make our moves and builds cost more. And we got low body mass, which is just gives us 5 move for free, basically. So those are the adaptations and breakthroughs that we have so far. Again, I can't really show you them, unfortunately, because there's no room. Unless I go over here, but that could work. If we go over here, we can put them down like that. At least then you can see some of them. I mean, it's not going to work really because we're going to get more of these, so there's just nowhere to put them, really. Yeah, I'm going to leave these out over here because I need to get to this deck, because this is the competition deck, which we are going to be drawing a lot of. Unfortunately, this game takes quite a lot of space, so it's not exactly streaming friendly, unless I were to put the camera away, far away, and then it'd be out of focus even more. So I'm afraid this is what we have to, the best we can do, really. But yeah, hopefully you can see everything. Right, so differences from the previous eras. I alluded to some of these last time at the end of the last stream, but you'll notice, you may notice anyway, there are these little 3-box tracks before all of the stars, and there's like 1, 2, 3, and then it points to the star. And what that means is when we move to a star, at least when I move to a star, I end up on the outermost box of the track, and that's it. That's my move. Next turn, the first thing I will do is advance all of my boxes, all of my teams, down 1 box on the track. So if I've got another one up here, I would move him down as well. And again, that's all I can do. So I have to keep going down. Next turn I'll go down again, and then 4 turns later I will end up at the star, and that's when I actually arrive at the system. Like, it's supposedly some thing about like light speed travel delay, like I've arrived at the system but it takes a few years for the signal to get back to base, and that's what that is basically, which kind of sort of works but also sort of doesn't really work sometimes, but that's what it is. It's a delaying mechanism anyway. So I pop down here. When I get to the star, that's when I can actually explore the system and build bases and so on. So for example, Lacaille, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, it's a French name. Lacaille 8760 is a star, it's a red dwarf star. It has a score of E7/B6. So what that means is, like previous eras, you have to spend that many explore points to explore it. So that's what the E7 is. When I do that, I flip over a primary tile, exploration tile, and a secondary exploration tile as well. So I can explore the whole system all in one go. And I do that using E7. Some of these have more, and some have less, like Lacaille 9352 here is E4B4. Epsilon Indy here is E10B20. That's the biggest on the board. Epsilon Eridani is E10B8, and so on. So there's variable exploration costs basically, but they all do the same thing. You flip over all of the counters, or all of the sites in the area. So Epsilon Indy is nice because it's got a primary and 2 secondaries, and they're all better than an E3 basically from before. But primaries are really good, and they may have aliens. If you draw an alien contact tile, then you get to draw from this alien pile and see what you end up with. The B works similarly. That's the build cost. So this is B6, this is a B4, this is a B14. Our friend Epsilon Indy there is a B20. So it's just some systems are just harder to build in, or they're more expensive, or whatever, for a multitude of reasons. So that works the same way. If we were to be worried about radiation, then everything on the board is irradiated outside of the Sol system, which is here. We all start off at shield factories. But I don't need to care about that because I have the radiation resistant adaptation here, so I don't need to care about that. If I did need to care, then it would now cost 3 money, so I would lose 3 points on the money track here in order to move or build in an if it was unshielded. I could do my shielded builds and moves here, but yeah, that would be a problem. I'm pretty sure the competition does not need to care one iota about this. They are not affected by radiation. Let's just double check that. No, I'm pretty sure they don't care about that. So that's fine for them. Also, I think they don't need to care about going on that track, which is really annoying. Let's just have a look at what they do. Yeah, I think they don't care about the track either. They just go straight on the star. So that track is basically a big delaying thing. And if someone has a way to get straight on the star while you're on the track, like the competition does, then that would be really frustrating because they'll get there before you do. Whether they actually get to explore or build the base before you do, on the other hand, because you might get there before their card. The card for that system is drawn again, so we can but hope, but that's probably going to happen a few times. Now the other difference here is that or one other difference is we don't have a first beyond anymore. We're going to be heading out to these Orion Spur sites, so that's basically to the rest of the galaxy, and that counts as beyond here. And the first team to get there gets 5 money. And then that's to any of them, so it's this spot, or this spot, or the first team to reach the second and third Orion Spur. So once somebody's gone out there, that's it, nobody else can go follow them in that direction. But the first team to get to the other ones gets 2 money, so it's a bit less. But that's it, there's no first beyond here because there's no era after this. They are talking about doing an expansion, or possibly more expansions for this game, and I'm fervently hoping that at least one of those expansions is going to be a 4th board, because that would be awesome if we can go beyond the Orion Spur and then end up, I don't know, making Dyson spheres or gold-like AIs or something ridiculous, because that'd be really cool. But I have no idea what those expansions are going to be right now. It's probably going to be more cards or some other thing like that, but maybe some conflict between the powers would be good, if we can actually like blow up each other's bases and so on. But who knows, that's way off in the future, at least another year or two, I think. Also you'll notice that the values of the moves to go between the regions here are quite large. We've got 30s, 20s, multiple things like 50s. It costs quite a bit to go across here because obviously the distances are pretty huge, they're light years. But we are going to have cards that multiply, like for example this one that was in my hand. So this one says move times 3, explore 3, or explore 3. So this, if I played with what I have at the moment, which is a move 3 and a move 5 in my adaptations, so that's 8, I could get a move of 24, which would get me to Alpha Centauri at the moment, because that's a move of 20. If I get another multiplier, that adds that multiplies it even more. Now the way that works is we add the normal numbers like 3 and 5 we would add. If I had a times 3 and a times 4, essentially I multiply those together, so I get 12, and then I multiply that total by the sum of the non-multiplier moves. But I'll show you that when we get to it. But that can give us quite big numbers. The other big difference here is colonies. So I'm just going to go over that. Once you have explored the system, built bases on the on the tiles. So when you build, you actually build bases on all of the tiles because they've all been explored by that point. You just put like 3 bases down, or however many, like 3 bases here, 2 bases here, 1 base here. But you put down those, and then you're done. Once you've done that, you can then colonize, and that's what this stuff is over here. So on the sideboard here, and these things are we've got only some of these, like the ones with these tiles on, if you can see the difference, like this basically. But there's limited numbers of them. There's 1 of each, except for this one down here where there's 2 of them. But there's 11 different ones in total. They all do different things, like whenever an opponent or the competition colonizes, gain 1 money, or gain 1 money for every adaptation and breakthrough you own. That's all this stuff basically. And then other things like that. At the end of the era, claim any 1 unfulfilled contract, for example. So the way these are built, though, you have to consult this this sort of almost like a flow checklist, basically. So you have to build them based on the colony points that you have there. Now, this is another new thing. So sometimes when you flip over these exploration tiles, you'll find that they give you a colony point. So that's what the first row here is. Number of colony points equal to that listed on all discovery tiles in the region. Then 1 colony point, so it's basically like you're adding these up to see how many colony points you actually get or are available. So you have 1 colony point if you have a nearby colony. That's anything within 20 light years. So unfortunately Sol doesn't count as a colony. So it's just Alpha Centauri on its own here, but that's nearby to Sol. Lacaille 8760 is nearby Lacaille 9352. Epsilon Indy is nearby to Lacaille 9352 and Gliese 1, and so on, right? Because it says nearby here. So you get 1 point for that. 1 point if you have an industrial base in the region. 1 point if there are 2 or more bases in the region. I'll use my pointer here. 1 point if you remove 1 of your teams in the region from play, so you can actually get rid of them completely and they basically just settle down. 1 point if you can accumulate 8 build or 8 or more build or 12 or more build in a multi-star system via play of action cards from the hand and or in for use. So that has to come from your hand or from your HQ. Nothing else. So the adaptations don't count for that. 1 point if you gain money, and 1 point if you own the Enviro Tolerance adaptation card, which is up here. It just gives you a free colony point. So you add those up, any of those up that apply. You look at the number of dots on the top of these tiles. So like this one has 3, this one has 6, this one has 4, and so on. And you can build a colony that has that many or less out of whatever is available on here. And then you build it. To build it, you just basically go, I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it in that region where I have my bases and all that, and then that kicks in. It doesn't require any card play, it's just an action. But that is where this gets quite brain burny. Yeah, the competition has a rather complicated kind of flow sheet of things to do. So that might be a little bit slower to do here, but we're just going to get on with it now. Start the game. Let's see where we go. So last time the competition got the first beyond, curse them. So we are starting at quite the disadvantage. Now, interestingly, I looked up what would happen if I got the first beyond, and I would have my cube on Alpha Centauri, but the competition would still have a cube on Lumen 16 over here. So I think it's probably because the competition, I guess, isn't going to do so well in this phase, so they give it a bit of a head start either way. But here, because I was slow on the grabbing the first Beyond, I did not get it. So now they have a team on Alpha Centauri, they've got a team on Lumen 16, and they get to take 3 whole turns before I can do anything. So that's going to be awesome. So let's see what happens. First one. So again, we're ignoring this. This is actually the Mariners deck, which is the first one that we used. All offers star. So that means we're going to get rid of every single card in the offers. So already we're off to a flying start. And then we are going to replace them with cards from the Starfarers thing here. And if any of them have an edge, we're going to be a bit screwed, because the edges have a nasty side effect for us, which I will consult this table for at the bottom here. So let's see how bad this is. The other upside of this though is it gets through the start cards, so and maybe there aren't any edges in the start cards, so that might work out. Yeah, good. Okay, right. So that's it. They also get -1 if any of those were revelations, or +1 if any of those were genetics, but they weren't, so that doesn't matter. Right, that's turn number 1. Turn number 2. You buggers, you put I put a team on Epsilon Indy apparently. Right. Have a base there? No. Commonly no. No competition there. Then place 1. Right. So we are going to. Oh yeah, they don't. Sorry, they don't start with a guy on Sol. Sorry. So we're going to put that one on Epsilon Indy. Right, okay. Right, so that's the second action. What does that site thing mean? Nothing. Right. Third action, contract number 6. So that means they get to put a cube on the contract thing. So again, I'm not going to show you this to you because it's off the board here, but it's down here. They're basically putting a cube on the non-start Starfarer cards in 3 infra slots. So if they get that again, I can't get the points for updating all of these things to Starfarers cards, which would be annoying. But you know, that's the competition for you. Right, that was their third turn. Now I get to do a turn. Hooray! So that wasn't horrible, but they're on Epsilon Indy, and that's a really nice system because it's got a primary and a 2 secondaries. It is really expensive though. Also, I should point out that if you want to go to the Orion Spur, you can only do it if you launch a team from a site adjacent to the Orion Spur and that has a colony there. So it has to be fully developed. You can't just go, I'm going to go from here all the way to the Orion Spur. You can't do that. And it costs quite a lot to go there because it's 120 move from here, 100 move, 120 move, 100 move, 100 move. I like going from either Captain Star or Groombridge 1618 because they have 2 exploration sites on them, basically exploration tiles, whereas these ones have only 1. They are cheaper to build at though. But Groombridge is also good because the move to Orion Spur here costs 100 move, not 120, so this is like really the best one. Right, so What do I want to do? I'm all stuck there. I'm going to have to get out there, basically. Unfortunately, I don't really have a way to get out there right now. I have my... I've got my total of 15... No, sorry, I've got my total of 8 times 3 is 24 move. That's only going to get me to Alpha Centauri, which competition is already on. If I want to get to, say, Epsilon Eridani, I would have to have 30 plus 20, and then I can get there. The thing, like, notice there's some empty regions here. You can't stop in those. You just have to go. You have to go straight through them. So, and they, of course, they add distance. So that's why it's 30 plus 20. That's just basically there's nothing there. So, here's the thing now. So I've got the brain burning part here is when you've got to plan ahead a bit here, because there's, you know, you've got to have that 3 move delay before you get to a system. And the other thing is I need a way desperately to get the get up to the right things here. So I've got 8 times 3. If I bump that up to 10 times 3, does that help? That gets me 30. That doesn't really help. Gets me the Lumen 16, which is already on. But what's 30 times 9? That's considerably more, isn't it? No, sorry, not 30 times 9. 10 times 9, that's 90. It's going to be a lot of multiplying in this now. That can get me places. I'm going to do research, and I'm going to grab the move, the upgradable move here, which is move 5 or shielded move 3, but I need it for the move 5. And I'm going to grab this, which is a first generation antimatter drive. It's the same card as the one I've got. It's move times 3 or explore times 3. So I'm going to get those, and then we're going to replace this. That's another one. So that's going to let us get a larger move now, because I can upgrade down here. That will give us a total of 10. And then I can use a times 3 times 3, and I've got a move of 90, so that's pretty good. I have less than 4 or less cards, so I'm going to draw another card. That's a Research 2 or Explore 3, which is quite nice. And we are also on the non-start cards now as well, so that's good. Right, let's see what the competition does. Tau Ceti. Oh, he's getting all the good ones. You get a base on Tau Ceti. Where is that? It's up here. Okay. Now there's going to be a lag between him getting there and them being able to actually explore and so on. Because they basically have to draw that tile again, or that a card that says that system again. And that may not be for a while. We will see though. So that's them. Right. Well, if I want to get going, I need to get going. Although I need to upgrade my thing first. So I'm going to upgrade. Hopefully that's okay. So I am going to now have a total move of 10 based on that. I might as well leave that there. I suppose I can just leave them all here and then just show you the ones that are relevant when I need to. So yeah, so I got a move of 10 total, and then with my combined multipliers again, if I do a move next turn, I can basically get anywhere, I think. So I can get here, that's 80, that's 70, that's 60, that's 50, 60, 60, 50, 70. Yeah, so I can get anywhere basically. Note that I can go through here, but it's going to cost me 80, so it's just better to go that way if I want to go there. Because I'm going to try and gun it for Groombridge, unless they screw me up here. I've got 4 cards. I draw another one. Oh, build 3 or build 2. It's actually the same card as this, but it's a Starfarers version rather than a Planeteers version. So that tech didn't improve much over the years, apparently. Right, that's me. Competition. Wolf 1061. Man, they're getting people everywhere. Wolf 1061. That's down here. So they're on there. Okay. Where's my thing? There's over there. Oops. Sorry. Grab that. Stick that over there. There we go. Right. My turn. He's getting places. Right. I'm going to make my move. Move times 3. Move times 3. I've got 9 there. Times 10. In this game, if you are wondering, we are adding first, then multiplying. Is how that works. So I get a move of 90. I'm going to head over to Groombridge. So I put my team on the first base there, and then at the start of all of my turns, I move that down 1. Still got less than 4 cards. Got Revelation. Explore 3 or Revelation 1. So that's going to be handy for moving this stuff around, which you can't see, I think. There's again, sorry, but there is a wheel at the bottom here where my thumb is, and when that moves around, that's going to if that moves around all the way to the top, that's going to trigger a revelation, which means I can pick any one of these blue cards up here, which I'll go over when we get to them. I'm just trying to think, like, is there actually a way I can make this higher, or I think that's going to be a bit... We'll leave it as it is, like, it's going to just disrupt everything, and who knows if it'll be in focus afterwards, but yeah, just take my word for it when I say I'm moving the wheels and so on. Right, I've moved competition. Groombridge 34. Getting teams all over the shop. Where's Groombridge 34? That is a Podunk Red Dwarf Star. Nobody cares about that one. Sorry, not drawing a card. I am now... So, first thing I do is I move this down 1 box. Now, the trouble is I've moved 1 team. I haven't really moved anything. I got anything to move anything else, have I? I do have this research thing, which I might use to grab some more cards. So yeah, I'm going to use this. Got research 2. That adds to my research 2 that I already have in my infra that I always have. So I am going to draw 4 cards from either the offers or from the deck. Now what do I want to do? I think I'm going to take this from the offers, and then I'm going to draw 3 more cards. So that is a build 5, produce 2, a move 3, move times 3 or shielded move times 2, upgrade as infra, and a move times 4 or an edge. Play at the start of your turn. Each player must discard 1 infra card for a previous era from their HQ. Now that doesn't work for the competition, so these are the ones I've got. But it does have a different effect. as a competition, right? I believe competitors. No, incompatible. So incompatible. If I play it at the end of any turn, competition loses 1 money for each upgrade card in the offers. Ooh. If they play it, if your HQ contains any info cards for a previous era, remove the one with the highest card number from play. So they got little numbers on them. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Could be a good way if I play it when there's all upgrades in the offers. But draw a new one here to fill that up. FTL prototype, move times 5. Right, so I am now in a pretty good position to get a permanent move if I want. Yes. Alright, I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, so next turn I might be able to do research. I mean, I can do a research, but if I get more cards, I won't be able to after that. Competition. Explore one. Sorry, ignoring that. Captain Star. Damn it. Getting everywhere. Boom. They're all over the shop. I need to take some action here. Right. I have yeah, so you also notice I start with 3 teams here. That's what you do in the Starfarers Era. You don't start with 2 like in the previous ones. So if I upgraded this move card, I would be losing the move 5. I would be replacing it with a move 3, basically. You can play cards that all have multipliers. In which case you just pick a number, pick one of the multipliers to be your number that you're multiplying, and then you just sort of go from there. But that said, at the moment I've got a move of 10. If I actually put this down, I've got a move of 15. So that's better. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. So this goes back into my deck because it's a Starfarers card. It's not an older era. So that's my action. I'm just upgrading that. So now I can possibly move places. Also, sorry, the start of my turn, that moves down 1. You've got to keep track of that. Right, next turn, competitors. BJD and all offers. Ugh, that's yucky. Right, BJD, that's a breakthrough, that's a jump drive breakthrough, but it's got a star next to it. So what does that mean again? That means it might need, might not be able to do that. Sorry, looking this up. Remove the indicated card only if the competition has already removed that progress card prerequisite. So that means that if we have a look at the jump drive here, so this is a permanent *4 on your move, so this is really good. But it requires the entangled transmitter, which is this card. It's another breakthrough. And this is also really awesome because it lets you just skip that track and go straight to the star if you have a team at Sol or at another star system. So that's really good. But you need to have that first, and they haven't removed that first, so that doesn't happen. But all offers, special and edge is the symbol on down here on the card. So all of these go away. They don't get any money or anything because there's nothing for to trigger the competition action thing. But we may have edges now. which are not good. So that is that. Oh, research 2, genetics 1. That could be really handy for me. Build 5, produce 2. Move times 4, build 5. Okay, so that genetics 1 would be handy to get me a hybrids. Oh, yeah. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Right. But again, so first thing I do on my turn, I move that down to the star. So I have now arrived at Groombridge 1618. Hooray! Can I explore Groombridge 1618? I have an Explorer of 2. I can, because I've got an Explore 3 and an Explore 3 and an Explore 2 on my infra. That gives me Explore 8 in total, and I need an Explore 7. So I'm going to explore. So I'm going to put them over there. So that means I draw, in this order, a primary and a secondary discovery, because I've got primary and a secondary here. So I'm going to flip over the primary. It is Abundant Life, 1 money, Genetics 1 and Colony 1, and it's got a life and a water on it. So that is awesome, because I was hoping it would do that. I'm going to move myself up on the score track to 27. I'm going to move my Genetics round 1, so that now it was on 2 before, now it's back to the top again, so I get to pick a card. And yeah, by Jupiter, I am going to pick hybrids. So this, I also get 1 more money for that, so I'm now on 28. Whenever you build a base on a primary tile, you may choose to place a second different base there. The 2 bases' effects are cumulative. This card is awesome. This is a really great card, because you get 2 bases for the price of 1. Like, every site has a primary tile, basically. So yeah, I'm basically going to get another base on that. So if I was up here, I could potentially have 4 bases, which would be great. So that was just the primary. The secondary, ooh, exotic life, 2 money, and another genetics. So I moved my genetics 1 step around on the wheel, so I'm on the first step again, and I get 2 money, so I am up to 30. I am now 4 points behind the competition. That was rather nice. I was hoping that would happen, because I could either research and get those cards, but if I'm here now, maybe I might. I was actually hoping I'd get a life tile that I could build a biolab on, but it happened that they had genetics on them as well. So now when I build there, I can build 3 bases because of the hybrids, so that's awesome. And I have build 8, build 11 already, so I've got more than enough to be able to build there. So that was quite nice. Right, competition. Why is it doing so many all offers? Oh, AHY. No, that's hilarious, because they get rid of the hybrids. The remaining hybrids card they have now removed from play. And that is over here, and oops, that is over there. Right, so they have trying to just keep everything tidy here. They have got rid of the hybrids card, and they're going to get rid of all the offers again. So bye bye genetics. Now there's a genetics here. So because there's a genetics, they get a +1 money for that, because that's triggered the offers action. At least I think they do. Just double check that, because is it when they remove them? I think it's when they remove them. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look. Action edge mark. Any action edge icons. Right. The offers thing. I'm doing this wrong. Hang on. Discard one or more cards from the offer boxes as specified in the offer's action. Okay, right. So we're discarding all 4 of them. Competition gains profit for each discarded action card. Oh yeah, sorry. They only get this if that's a star symbol. So no, they don't get this money. But they do get money if there was a special or an edge. And there was not a special or an edge there, so that's fine. So they don't get any money for that. As you discard cards from the offer boxes to check to see if an action edge on the card matches. Right, okay. Right, so I am doing it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry, confused myself for a second there. Right, so it's when I redraw this, if there's an edge on there, I'm in trouble. Let's move times 2, build times 4. That's quite nice. But so far, so good. So that's upgradable as well. That's and that's got a build 4 on it, which is very nice. That's better than this. We've got build 5, produce 2 as well, which is good. So I would really like to get my guys out of there. I'm going to just leave the hybrids down here so that I can see the move 5 just to remind myself that I have that. I could build there right now, because that will kind of lock that up. Because the interesting thing now is if I've got a bases built in a system and the competition draws a card that says that system, and they can't do it then, they can't do an action then because I've got base there, that's the end of their turn. Unlike the previous eras where you just go, oh, well, you can't do that, redraw the card, that actually ends their turn. So that is actually really quite nice. Because if I build enough bases quickly enough, I guess, that means that could stump them more often than not. Because we played several turns so far and they've just put stuff out at the moment, but they haven't put anything there. They haven't explored yet. That said, I really should get people out into the systems because they've got that 3-turn delay. What happens if the competition wants draws a thing and I've got a team there? Nothing. So even if they get Groombridge, like I'll still have, if they get this, they'll put a team there, but then I'm basically right, I'm going to build on the next turn. Otherwise, if they get that again, then they can build. But right now, I've got a move of 15. If I play my ×4, I will have a move of 60. I'm going to need calculators at some point for this. That can get me to Epsilon Eridani. Do I want to do that? Or do I want to do a research and get that move ×2, build 4 infra thing? Delay my turn yet again. I think I'm going to rush it. I'm going to sacrifice the incompatible thing, which would have been nice. But I'm going to do a move ×4, so 15 times 15 times 4, or alternatively, if we want to do it the way I figured, you multiply these two together and you get 12, and you multiply 12 by 5, you get 60. It's the same number. So I'm going to hop off to Epsilon Eridani over there. That's a nice 3-site system. Right, I have 4 tiles, 4 cards. I mean, I'm going to draw another one. I've got another research to explore 3. So, competition. Epsilon Indy. Ooh, now they've got a team at Epsilon Indy already. So that means they blah 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 blah. What's the site? The explore cost is 10. The competition has a team present and 1 or more explore boxes are empty, and the site explores cost is 7 or 10. It places discovery tiles. So it's discovering these now. It's basically playing the explore action. So primary is an anomaly. So 2 money, 1 revelations, which it ignores, base +4, which it also ignores. I'll do everything and then add everything up. I see asteroid field. That is a P1 and a colony, colony 1. So it gives you a colony point. That is asteroids and a water. That's the secondary. I think that was the secondary, wasn't it? Yeah. And alien ruins. 2 money, Rev 1, the Revelations 1, base +4. So for us, if we've gone there, that would mean, so at the moment they get 4 money. I'll just do that. They've got 2 money, 2 money. So they get 4 money, so they are at 36, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. The base and the revelations are irrelevant to them, basically. I think the colony point is irrelevant too, for that matter. But colony might not, actually. But if we had gone there, that would mean that instead of a build 20, we are actually doing a build 28 to build a base, because it's +4 for the base cost and +4 for the base cost down here. But I would have got 2 more revelations points, which would have been very nice. And also that asteroid field is a P1, which is also good. Right, so they've got their money from that. That is cool. Nobody has any contracts so far. Now it's my turn. So first things first, I move that down. That's for free. I am going to I think I'm going to do research. And I am going to do 2 from the offers. So I'm going to get this explore 3, produce 1, and I'm going to get the move time 2, build 4, 1. That's a move times 5, move explore 6, and that's a move times 4, build 5. Right, I'm not drawing any more cards because I have more than 4 cards. Competition. Oh, you bugger. Epsilon Eridani. You better not get another one of those. I'll be really pissed. So he actually goes, I've just made it to the star. So I need to get there, explore it, and build on there real quick. Otherwise, he may just go, oh, nope, I'm going to explore again. So yeah, I want all the goodies there. Thank you. Well, my turn. I move ever so slightly closer to Epsilon Eridani again. bugger. Bugger. I guess for now I'm going to do my I'm going to replace this. So I'm replacing the extruders with the move times 2 build 4 one, because that's just better. And again, I don't have to worry about radiation, so I don't care about any of that. Also, it gets me one step closer to getting that contract for replacing all the cards with non-start Starfarer cards. Right. Attention. Please don't draw Epsilon Eridani. Tau Ceti. That is up here. They've already got that, so they explore. Primary tile is habitable and rich. And then the secondary tile is getting all the good alien ones. They get 3 money in total, a P1 for the habitable rich one, 2 colony points, that would have been bloody awesome for me, thank you very much, a genetics and a revelation if they cared about that, but they don't. But their base cost would be, instead of 6, it would be plus 12 from that, so that is 18, that would have cost them more. But, alas, that is theirs, not mine. So they get 3 money, which I'm just going to put on now. So that's 1, 2, 3. They're on 41. They are racing ahead. I am only on 30. Right. So, my turn. Bonk. Hello. Now, this is interesting because if I explore and he draws an Epsilon Eridani again, he goes, I'm going to build a base there. So hopefully he's not going to do that. But I don't know how often that's going to come up. So I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to blow a revelation card to do this. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks, because I've only got an exploration of 8, including my infra. I'm going to have to blow this. Oh, pain. Pain! Well, I've got exploration 9 there, plus the 2. I need exploration 10. I'm going to do that. Sorry, revelation, that breaks my heart to do that. Primary tile. Oh. Planetary system and exotic life. So I get 1 money. I get a P1 for the refinery and all that, produce actions. Colony 1. Genetics 1, so that moves 1 step around on my wheel. But it's a base plus 4. That's the primary. So I've moved the genetics already. I haven't given myself the money. I'll give myself the money now. So I got 1 money since I've done the other one. Secondary tiles. Oceans, colony 1, genetics 1, base plus 4. So that's making this really expensive. And oh god, I got habitable. Colony 1, base plus 4, and 2 money. So I've got another genetics. That puts me back on the top again, so I can pick another card. And I've got another 2 money. 1, 2. Oh, well that's a good site to build a colony on. Because it's got 3 colony points right there for free. And that gets me anything I want, basically. But it depends on whether I can build a base there first. Now, unfortunately, the build cost is now plus 12. It's 20 build. I've only got 7. Ugh. Ugh. And the competition doesn't have to care about that. I've got 7. I've got another 8. So I've got 15 build at the moment. Crap. I'm going to have to do at least 1 research action at this point, unless I'm lucky. Because now I'm going to draw a card, so I've only got 3 things here. Now, before I do that, I could. Oh, this is horrible. So what did I say? I have, with this, I've got 8, 7, so that's 15 build. If I got the build 3 adaptation, that would give me 18 build. That's still not really enough. If I was at 18, that would have been worth getting. So the options are, for my genetics card that I now can get the build 3, or I can get enviro tolerance over there, which gives me a free colony point, which makes things a lot more interesting for that. I can't get Star Children yet because that requires 2 breakthroughs and I only have the 1. I've got the energy fields breakthrough. Sensory focus is nice. That's this one, because it lets me pick. Basically, it lets me draw 2 primary tiles when I get a primary, and I can just pick whatever the best one is, and then put the other one back on the top of the pile. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a research anyway before I can build. Unfortunately, nuts. Either way, I'm going to have to do research. I can build and get the adaptation for building. The colony point ones are really good because that gives me 1 free colony point that I don't have to worry about doing anything else with. The other advantage of hybrids is that even on these sites with 1 primary only, if I've got hybrids, I can build 2 bases there and you get a colony point for building if you have two or more bases in the region. You wouldn't be able to do that otherwise with these ones, so effectively it gives you a free colony point, which is why it's so good. Build is going to be useful generally, although there's not an awful lot of really high build places. That colony point is going to be really handy though, but I think my more pressing need at the moment, so load the time to do it, I am going to take the build. I'm going to take the build. Also this first beyond marker is now irrelevant. Yeah. So unless I now draw a card, because I've got 3 cards here, that is got a build on it, I'm not going to be able to do that next turn. So let's have a look. Draw a card. Move times 4, explore 4. No, not quite good enough, but it's still a good card generally. Right. The battle for Epsilon Eridani continues. Competition turn 61 Signy. You go down there. Fine. They're very much spread out everywhere, aren't they? I'm gonna have to try and gazump them, I think, if I want any of these. I'm on 2 sites. I could be on 3 if I moved my guy out. But now I'm gonna have to. Now I've got 10, 18. Yeah, gonna have to do research. I am going to. Get. I mean, it's not really any point in getting a 5. If I get that FTL prototype and get an explore that I can use, which is nice because that will let me explore pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I'm going to take these two for my research action. And then I'm going to draw market influence, and there's an explore 3 or build 4 infra. I mean, that's quite nice. Stellar Foundry. If I got that, I could get the contract for getting all the cards as well. But I'd have to do another research action, which I don't want to do right now, because otherwise I will miss the boat on Eridani. See what the competition does. Oh, Epsilon Indy. They've got the other one. So that means that's up here. So they have a team present but no base, and all the explore boxes contain discovery tiles, and the explore sites cost, or the site's explore cost is 10. It places bases only. So this is what we're doing now. Here, this could be really interesting because we've got to draw 3 bases. Start with a primary. And then we compare it and see if it's eligible or not, and they get the bonuses for that. So base number 1 is a secure. Well, it is eligible for that. If you have fewer secure bases in play than the competition, you lose 1 money. That is here. At the moment, actually, damn it. Ironically, the breakthrough, the energy fields breakthrough, makes all of my bases secure, but I have less bases than them because I don't have any bases. So yes, unfortunately, I lose 1 money. Wait, down to 33. Next base, so I go to the competitions secondary site. Got Biolab. That is not eligible there because there's no life. And I've got a exploiter, which is not eligible there because it doesn't have a P number. What would that have done? Yeah, that's so that's nothing basically. It doesn't get any bonuses from that apart from that secure one. So, right, I can build. I'm going to build with my big builds. So we've got 8, 10 here, so 18. Hang on. What do I need? Hang on. Do I need 20? Yes, 20, right? Because I've got +4, +4, +4, plus the 8, which is here, build 8. So, sorry, I've got 10, 8, another 4, so 18, 22. I use all my builds, though, to do that, so that's going to be a pain. But 22, I can build stuff, so that's going to kick him back to... kick him off, basically, so he goes back to the box. I am going to build stuff, so I can build 2 here, and because my my hybrids thing, and I can build 1 base here and 1 base here, both of which have water, which is nice. Where's the base list here? So that one's got life on it. I could build a biolab and advance my genetics 1 just for the heck of it here, because that's got a life thing. It also has a P number on it, which means it could be a refinery, exploiter, it's got water on it. No, hang on, that doesn't have water on it. It's the other ones that have water on it. But that could be worthwhile. the interesting thing now, in the Starfarers era, only in the Starfarers era, the research before let us take a card from the offers. But now in the Starfarers era, it can increase our revelation by 1. So that's a black cube on the track, on the wheel, on our HQ, and that could be really useful. Shield Factory is irrelevant for me, because I do not care about radiation anymore. So, I'm thinking Biolab at least on the primary. I'm thinking industrial on the water one here, because I need a water or a P number. And in Starfarers Era, industrial doesn't double your build anymore. It just gives you another colony point. So I've already got 4 colony points on this one, because I'm going for the big cards. Then I could do a research and a refinery. That would move my revelation up 1. The research, and the refinery I could put on here to do the P number. Because I haven't got anything like that at the moment. I've only got that on my legacy production on my HQ. So yeah, research and a refinery. I could do a double research and put like a research here and a research here, and that will up my revelation by 2, which would be nice. But I think I'm going to just do plan A here. So I'm going to put a refinery and a research there. I think what we used to do basically, or what we've done before, is because there's not an awful lot of room on the tile, we just put it on the track basically. We'll put the double bases for the hybrid on the track. Right, so, and then he goes on, just sits on the tile there, and that's my system now basically. Cool. Alright, that used up all our cards pretty much, but we've got another one now, so we've got 3. And I've got a move times 4, build 5, so that's good. Right, competition. Groombridge 34, you are here, so you are getting the exploration tile for that. Primary, Abundant Life, you get 1 money, and 1 colony point, and 1 genetics, so bully for you. When he's built a base, does he disappear again? Because I think when they build a base, they go away. Yeah, it says a presence of a team is not required to take colonize action. You just need to be at a place where you have bases on all the exploration tiles. So he goes away basically. They're still there. They're just not going anywhere, I think. There's also, let me just double check this, because building. Probably says it in the initial thing. Remove the team and place a base. Right. Places bases. Yeah. Oh no, placing a colony, then it removes all old teams. Alright, yeah, so right, yeah, that stays there. It stays there until it builds a colony, basically. Right, okay. So that went down to Grimbridge down there, didn't it? Right, so sorry, my biolab on there should have increased my genetics, so I've just moved that up by 1. So that's what it does, it just increases that by 1. So I really would like to get that enviro tolerance thing. So now what do I want to do? I'm kind of hoping I can move this team using the entangled transmitter if I get that, but I'm kind of nowhere near being able to get that. Also, I put a research on there as well, so I'm moving my revelations up by 1 there. Do I just say screw it and move anyway to somewhere before anyone kicks me out? At the moment, Captain Star is available, but he's got a team there. But that's a nice 2 site. I could go to Locale 8760. That is 60 away, which I could do because I've got my move 5. Now actually I've got a move 5. I've got this is 6. So 3 times 2 is 6. Times 5 is 30. And with the times 4 I can go up to 120 away, so that's pretty sweet. I could go to Captain, but they've got a team there already. I think I need to just bite the bullet and go, really, don't I? What do I go with? This is a move 5 thing, so if I play this, I'm going to get a 10 move here times 6, which is 60, which is going to be enough to get me to Locale 8760. Think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use this. So I've got 5 plus 5 is 10 times 6 is 60. I'm going to go 30, 20, 10 along that track. Then I'm going to draw another card, explore 3, produce 1. Okay. Competition. Ross 780. Oh, you haven't had that one yet. Plonk. Done. Now, interestingly, I could attempt to colonize, because if I do, I get 3 money from getting the first contract, first colony on that. Because I can colonize up here now if I wanted to. But first things, my team moves down 1. It could be something to do. I could alternatively build down here because I can. Now that's interesting because if I built 2 biolabs, which I've only got 2 more biolabs anyway, on that site, I am going to get 2 genetics from that, which would get me back to looping around to get a card, which means I could get the enviro tolerance card. Or I could build an industrial on this one because it's got water on it. Actually, right, this one's the primary, right? I can build 2 bases on that, so I could do both. But I would be sacrificing a revelation, which maybe I won't be as greedy. If I do a research, an industrial, and a biolab over here, then that will increase my genetics and revelation by 1, so they're both on 2, and will also get me a colony point. And I can do that already just with this. I've got a build of 10. That's a build of 8. So that's what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for him to get there. So, what was it? A biolab, a research, and a industrial again. So industrial there, biolab there. Put these on top again. Like that. So I increase my genetics and my revelations by 1. And now I've got 2 colony points to start with there, because I've got 1 colony point from that, and I've got 1 colony point from the industrial. And I get to draw another card. So I've got 4 cards. Oh, perfect. Produce 2 or revelation 1. So now, because I am, as you can see, I am now on the second bit of the wheel for revelations. If I spend that, I am going to be able to get a revelation, and that will get me, annoyingly, that integral transmitter would be really nice. Actually, I could move one of these guys off to somewhere else. That would be really good. Yeah. And then, ooh, yes, because if I did that, I could, because I don't, just established we don't need a team at the place to build colonies, right? So I could use the integral transmitter to hop myself somewhere else, and then with the next genetics upgrade, which I would get whenever I draw a genetics card, I can get the Star Children thing, because then I'll have 2 breakthroughs, and that lets me put 1 more team, like my 4th team, down on any star straight away. So that would be really good. Alright, competition. Let's see if it scuppers my plans. Highest even sight. What the heck does that mean? Highest, lowest, and even odd sites. Identify the eligible site. Oh, okay. So it's we've got these site numbers here, the little white circles that have little numbers in them. So I look at whatever the highest even numbered site is that has a competition team there, and then I do whatever it says. So highest even numbered site, well, they're on 1, 2, this is number 2, this is 12, so that's probably it, that's 7, 5, 9, 13, so it's going to be 12. It's Wolf 1061. They do not have anything there. They've got a team and they haven't explored, so they're going to explore is what they're going to do. The competition has a team present but no base, and all explore boxes contain discovery tiles, which they don't, so all discovery point things are empty. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Oh, bugger, wait, hang on. Oh, right. Slight rewind. If a competition has a team present and 1 or more explore boxes are empty and the site's explore cost is 4, it places discovery tiles, then it places bases, then it places a colony. So here, this one's a 4. So it's like really easy to explore basically. So they just get a jump start and they place a base and place a colony. And annoyingly, that means they're the first people to build a colony. Bugger. That doesn't apply anywhere else though. Here it just places discovery tiles. There it just places discovery tiles. And here it would just place discovery tiles too. So nuts. Alright, so first let's get them up to speed. They gotta build a base and they gotta build a colony. They are building a spaceport. So this is a rewind to the previous turn when they built this, and then I'm going to do the wolf one here. So they built a spaceport. That means Starfarers Era. Competition has colony in a region that is adjacent to an Orion Spur site containing no teams. Place a colony team at the Orion Spur and award the money accordingly. Well, they don't have that, so screw you. Ha. Okay, so, and though they build a colony, because they do that as well. So, placing a colony. Producer, so choose the available colony with the solo selector number matching the selector number. Okay. So I gotta look at this. This is number 3, site number 3. I've gotta look at the numbers that are on the side of these colonies and look for the one that matches that or is closest to it. So that's this one. That's number 3, which is really annoying. Award the competition profit equal to the colony value of the colony. So that's that's 4. So it just basically sticks there. And then remove all competition teams from that site. So they get 4 money. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're at 46. That was that. So sorry, I missed that. I didn't realise there was an extra step to do there. If you look at the thing here, there's 8 different options for things that they do when they in response to whatever is on the card. So I just assumed it was all the same, but apparently not. So Wolf 1061, that's an E7. They just placed discovery tiles. So we got a primary. Planetary system, P2 colony 1. Secondary, asteroid field, P2. So it's not terribly exciting, but it's really good if they want to build refineries there. Right, that's all their actions. 1 second, I'm just going to grab a drink. Hopefully this is all making sense so far. Right, my turn. So, also they've just got the first colony contract here. So that gives them 3 money. So that's even more annoying. 1, 2, 3. So they got 49 money now. That was for this. And now we're back up to sync. So. There's not an awful lot of sites left, really, are there? That are unoccupied. So my turn, I'm going to move that down 1. Now, if I play my revelations, I am going to take the entangled transmitter card. If I do that, I can move one of my other teams to another site. So one of these guys I can move to somewhere else. Now, do I want to move them to somewhere that they are at? right now, the only other 2-tile site is Captain Star, and they haven't built anything there yet, and they haven't explored it. But if I go there, and they do explore it, I guess they'll get the bonuses for it, but then I can still build on those tiles, which would be nice. That would still work for me. If I just go for one of these though, I can just get a primary all to myself. And Captain Star is nice because that's a it's also next to here, which means I could launch a colony thing from there, like a Orion Spur thing from there. I mean, bums. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to play my Revelations card. I'm going to move my Revelations up to the top of the wheel, which means I get a card, which means I get the Entangled Transmitter. So immediately transfer one of your teams at Sol or at a star system to any empty star system, placing it directly on the star. Oh, any empty star system. What does it mean by empty? Like with absolutely nothing in it? Because if it means empty, that means no teams. Have a quick looky. See if anyone's asked this. Entangled Transmitter. Okay, it means not occupied by a team. Okay, so I can't actually put it on Captain Star after all. Okay, well that's still fine. I'm going to put it on... There isn't any other ones, are there? No. I'm going to put a team from here onto Green's one. So just put it straight on the star. I have 4 cards. I draw another one, get a Sabotage. Beginning of any turn, well, I mean, what does it mean now? Sabotage in the solo game means play at the end of your turn, remove a competition team from a site or contract. Oh, that would have been nice earlier on. Because I could just move them off Captain Star and then plot my guy there. But bums, right. That's an interesting one. But it's play at the end of your turn, so I could... I mean, it's the end of my turn now. I could play it straight away and kick him off something. I mean, I could kick him off. I could kick him off Captain Star anyway. What do I need here? I think I will. So, play at the end of your turn. Remove competition team from a site or contract. So it's the end of my turn. I am going to play that. Pretty sure I'm okay to play that now because it's still the end of my turn. I've just drawn my card. before I hand over to the competition, it's still my turn, right? So I'm going to kick him off here, because then I may be able to claim that later on, which would be nice. Right, so that's me done. Now I've got two, so the important thing now is that I've got two of these breakthroughs. So that means I can get the Star Children next, if I wanted to do that. If I can get my genetics around one more, which would be nice. Competition turn. Groombridge 1618. Ha! Right, I have a base there. Discard the card and end the turn. You don't get to do a single thing, competition. Haha, I laugh at you. Right, also, my guy should have moved down there at the... Well, actually, my guy moves down here now. So this is the start of my turn now. So now, spoilt for choice. I have an Explore 7 or an Explore 4 up here. I'm going to do the Explore 7, I think, and for that I'm going to play the Explore 6 here plus the Explore 2, and I am going to explore the Kale 8760 with a primary. Oh, rich asteroid belt, 1T and P3, so I'm going to get the money, yay! I'm on 33 now. Secondary. I hate you. Critical mission delay. Lose 2 money. Discard this tile and draw another one. I hate you. Ugh. So I draw another secondary. Oh, special discovery. Discard this tile, draw a primary tile. Okay. So I got 2 primaries. Now this is really big because it means I can put 2 bases on this primary and 2 bases on this now because it's a primary. It is excellent. It is a habitable, 2 money, so I get the 2 money back that I lost. Genetics 1 and colony 1. That means I get a genetics. I was on genetics 2 on the wheel. I'm back to the top. I get to draw another genetics card now because I'm back. I've circled around the wheel. I am quite cheerfully going to be getting Star Children. Also, I believe I don't think I got the money for the entangled transmitter, did I? Can't remember. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. So I should get 2 money for the entangled transmitter, which is here. 2 money. Also, so I got 1, 2. Also, I've got Star Children. I've got the 2 breakthroughs. I got 1 money from that. I immediately gain a new team. Place it on the star in any region without a team. Oh look, Captain Star is now without a team because I punted them off there. So I get my last team, which is why we have 4 cubes, and I put them on Captain Star, and I do rather well there. Sorry, you can't. I mean like this. Because you can't see my thumbs very well from the top. Right, so that worked out rather swimmingly. Right, so these are both primaries as well, which is fantastic. Right, now I'm in a position to go places. And then I've got 3 cards. I draw, move times 3, build 4. Competition. Lekale 8760, he's on my spot. So what does that mean? They don't have anything there. I don't have a base there though. So they just put one of their guys on there. So if I want to build something, I need to build something there now. Fortunately, it is a build 6, which I have more than enough. So I am actually just going to go straight to building there. I don't want them to take that, otherwise they're gonna get that basically. So I'm going to build. Well, let's see. I can definitely put a refinery down on here because that's gonna be really good for my producing. I can definitely put an industrial down there because that's going to be one extra point for colonies. What else? What else can I build? Do 2 researches and just get 2 more revelations. That'd be nice. Although at this point, there's not an awful lot of revelations I want. The only other one that's handy really is the jump drive. SpaceCorp, is that anything? That just doubles the value of a move. Card. Shield factory I don't care about anymore. If I do a research and a... I think that's really it, isn't it? I can do 2 researches. Got the refinery there already, got the industrial there already, got the biolab. I can't build the biolab. Yeah, I'm gonna I can only build 1 research. Bums, because I've only got 1 base. So I'm gonna build a research for sure, because remember these are both primary tiles, right? Because that's a primary, if you can see that, and because this one got upgraded, this is a primary as well. So what else do I want to build? What else can I build? Can I actually build anything? Because I am out of research bases now. I've built them all. Can't build an attraction. Can't build a exploiter. I could, but that's just going to give me all the money there and never let me use it again. I guess I'll just stick a spaceport on it then, really. I'll just do a refinery, which seems kind of appropriate for the asteroids. He gets punted off as well. Research and an industrial like that. So I go up 1 on my revelations for my research, and that's going to be very, very lucrative. I'm going to put the refinery on there just because it's actually the P3 one that it's on. It's got to be a bit specific about that. But that's very, very nice. Right. I think I've adjusted everything. So if I've got produce actions, I can use that to get myself points. That's going to get me 4 points just by doing that. If I have at the moment, if I have produce 2, I can get 6 points because it's like 1 tile. One of the producers is 1 tile. One of the producers is on this tile. Again, I should put this on here, really, shouldn't I? Because that's a refinery with a P1. So that would get me 2, that would get me 4. If I had a P3, I could use the refinery on my HQ, the legacy one from earlier on, and that would get me another 2, so I get 8 points, which would get me considerably closer to where the competition is right now. Right. I have completely forgotten where I'm at here. I just built the bases with my free stuff here because it was just a B6. I have 4 cards. I draw a card. Another upgrade as infra one. Oh, that's really good. and then I move over to the competition. Oh, Lekale 8760. Wow. That was awesome. It's actually the same card as last time. It's got a different number at the bottom. But that ends his turn because I just built a base there. If I hadn't built a base there, he would have built bases there, and that would have been bad. So sucks to be you, competition. You don't get to do anything. Right, my turn. I've actually got my two guys up there, haven't I? Let's. What is that's a B8 to do that, isn't it? It's an E4 to do that. I'm gonna upgrade my last thing here, so I'm gonna bump this up to a 3. But that's also going to get me the so I've now got 3 non-start Starfarer things. That's going to get me the contract for that in the infra slot, so that's going to get me 2 more money, and that's going to kick the competition team off that because he was sitting on there waiting for that to come around again. So I've got that. So we've got 2 contracts so far fulfilled. If you can see this, that's where we're at. That's the current scores as well. 2 contracts fulfilled in the Starfarers Era. That was my turn. I've got 4 cards. I draw another one. I've got competition, which is play at any time the competition loses 2 money. Oh, that's quite nice. That's my card, and then they go. Ah, Glees 1. Of course you're going to do Glees 1. Why are all these time cards together? I shuffled them, damn it. I put the cards in separate places in the deck, and somehow 3 of them have, and then I shuffled them, and then somehow 3 of them have ended up right next to each other. Nuts. You get to put a team out there then. So if I want to explore Glees, I need to do that now. It's not a big deal, but I mean it could be a big deal. It's a primary. So exploring, I've got now an explorer of 3. I need an explorer of 7 to do Captain Star, which I am now going to do. I'm going to do Captain Star first because that's a primary and a secondary. Although there's no rush for that yet because he's not on there, whereas there is a rush now for this. Maybe I want to do that. Unfortunately I have to sacrifice a produce action thing to do it if I do this one. Because sadly I've only got Explore 3. If I'd taken that breakthrough that would have been easier, but I wanted that transmitter. Yeah, I'm gonna use this to do the Explore. So I've got Explore 6, which is more than enough for that one. Primary tile. Ugh. Primitive culture. 2 money. Hooray. Genetics 1. So hooray again. They're both on 1 now. Colony 1. That's nice. And base +4. So I need 10 build, which I've still got to do. So that's nice. And that is it. I'm down to 4 cards. I draw another card. Explore 3 Genetics 1, and why thank you very much. Right, competition. AET and all offers. What's ET? AET. Oh bugger. Right, that is the environmental tolerance one. So he takes that. I believe he gets the money for that as well. Hopefully I've remembered to do that previously. Just looking this up. the money. So that was a 1, wasn't it? 1 money. So they're on 50 now. Hooray. Flip that over to show the T plus 50. I need to get that before they do. Or they get that again. And what was it? All the offers go away. Boom, boom, boom. So now we could get hit with edges, which is really annoying. And it's a star thing. So now if they're revelations or genetics, then this kicks in. They lose 1 money for revelation, or they gain 1 money if it's genetics. So do the same card. All upgradable those. That's nice. Oh, edge, poach. Damn it. Poach. Choose and discard half the cards in your hand, rounding down. Damn it. That's not good. So I have to choose and discard half the cards in my hand. I've got 5 cards. I have to discard half, rounding down. So that's 2 cards I need to discard. I can probably afford to discard the 2. These two basically, because I've got enough builds. Theoretically, competitors play at any time the competition loses 2 money. Could I wonder if theoretically I could play this before. I guess not, because I'm just thinking, could I play this for the competition action, cause them to lose 2 money, and then they discard it? But it kind of feels a bit like I should do it deliberately first rather than as an opportunity thing. Yeah. And it does say play at any time. So actually, yeah, because you know what? I'm picking my cards. I'm going to play this at any time. But then, but if I play it, it goes away. And then I have to lose another card. Which may be that one. Can I live with that? Probably live with that. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to play this now before I discard anything. So I play that for the competition, for the solo action, which was to cause them to lose 2 money, which I'm going to do. And then I've got 4 cards, I'm going to discard these 2. Yes, I'm going to discard these 2. And then they draw another card from here, and it's that. Alright, yeah, so that worked out. I just had to discard that and then carry on and let them take the other 2 cards. Right. So that was them. I think now I'm going to build, because I can. I'm going to build on Glees, and I can build 2 things. So that's nice. So I've got genetics 1. I can't build another research base, curses. But I've got a genetics 1 already there. Like I can basically build sorry, what I'm trying to say is it's got life on it. I can build a biolab, which will increase my genetics by 1. A spaceport would be really good there, actually, because that will double the move, right? But industrial will be nice there as well. But it's got a colony 1 already. I think it would be better if I went here with the industrial, because I've only got 1 industrial left. So I'm going to do a spaceport, and I'm going to do a biolab up here. So that is going to give me another genetics, and hopefully I can get that enviro tolerance before that disappears. And now I've got 2 cards left. I'm going to draw a card which is another genetics. That's perfect. I mean, I've got a genetics already. So the next action can be to get that if they don't screw me up. Competition. Huh. BIT and all offers. That's the infra transfer. So this is an interesting one. At the end of your actions, you may automatically upgrade one eligible card you played from your hand. So if I had played a card that had an upgrade, I could just upgrade it. It doesn't cost me an action to do that. I can just automatically put it in with this one. But he's taken it. So he gets his 2 money back because it had 2 money on it. And all offers. So that's a pain because that means they can do more poaching. And that could screw me. So all offers and research is what we're looking for in order for them to get any money. And actually they didn't have, none of them had research on them. So edge time again. What was a revelation? Damn it! Leak. Leak. Choose one. You lose 2 money or return one of your progress cards to the sideboard. Screw that, I'm losing 2 money. Just, nope. Not gonna happen. Oh, there's a Revelations there as well. Build 5. Okay, yeah, no, there is absolutely no way I am going to lose a progress card. You can go screw yourself there, matey. I mean, the energy fields is the only one I really need to keep because the entangled transmitter. Actually, no, I need that if I want to get the jump drive because that's a prerequisite for that. Okay, that was you. My turn. I'm going to play a genetics. This one, genetics 1. I'm going to go move my genetics around 1 spot on the wheel. That gets me back to the top. I am going to grab that enviro tolerance 1 before that disappears as well. I think that's pretty much it. I've got all the other ones except sensory focus, which at this point is a bit useless because I've already got everywhere. I mean, I suppose it could be handy for this one, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to draw another card. Ooh, oh, this is awesome. Genetics 2 Revelations 1. Is there a revelation I want? The only other revelation I want is the jump drive, really, because these aren't really worth it anymore. The research 1 is never really worth it, I don't think. I've never really consciously bought that one. But if I can grab, I've got my revelations on the first spot on the wheel. If I could do a research and get these 2, then I can move that all the way around. And actually, if I at some point play this, my genetics is at the top of the wheel already. So if I do this, this gets me 3 spaces around, and I can get, I guess, the sensory focus one. Which will be nice. Yeah. Alright, that was my turn, my card draw. Captain Star. Oh, you arse. You arse. So now they're back at Captain Star, so I've got to get exploring. And that one. Pronto. Right. Then I am exploring. So, sorry, he's punted off here. Exploring, I've got Explore 4 and Explore 3 down there. It's an Explore 7. I'm going to get my primary and secondaries there. And hopefully he's not going to draw Captain Star again. Because that would be a pain, because then he'll build everything on there. Right. Primary tile is 2 money and 1 genetics, and that moves my genetics around 1, and that gives me 2 money, so I'm on 40, and it's colony 1. Secondary rings, P2. So kind of uninspiring, really, but that's decent. Right, I'm going to draw a card because I've got 2 cards left. Move 6 or explore 2. May upgrade as infra. That's not terrible. But going to carry on. Actually, I've got a build of 11 now, haven't I? Because that got upgraded. Going to carry on with the competition. Don't be Captain Star, please. Oh, you scumbag. Oh, double whammy. Oh, hang on. ASC. They don't actually have. Oh, have they removed 2 breakthroughs? They have removed 1 breakthrough. No, they removed 2 breakthroughs. So they can remove the Star Children one, so that goes away. But the really sucky thing now is all offers. So all of this goes away. My revelations, why? You've taken my revelations from me. Yeah, that sucked. I would have liked that jump drive. Oh well. Go away. Doing a lot of all offers. Is draining through the deck here. Alright, let's see what we get. No agents, please. We're British. Blah blah blah. Oh, there's another revelation though. That could be good. Damn it. And in fact, sorry, that was all offers with a star next to it, and there was two revelations on there, right? Yeah, there was 2 revelations on there, so they actually lose 2 money according to this, because this kicks in. So they're back down to 48 again. Aha! Aha ha ha. Right. Okay, survived that then. Now decision time. I need to build. Damn it. I mean, I could still get that genetics if I sacrifice this revelation. Because that will get me genetics too. Which will get me that primary focus. But I don't need that anymore, is the thing. I've explored everywhere I really want to go. Anywhere else is going to be a bonus. It's kind of too late in the day to do that one, so I'm better off keeping this for its revelation, basically. I think I'm going to go build. I'm going to go build on Captain Star. So I have a build of 11 here. It's more than enough for my build of 8 there. I have, so this is 1 secondary and 1 primary, so I can build 3 bases here. Guess it's going to be the industrial on there. I'm going to put the refinery, actually, my last refinery on the P2. I was thinking about the exploiter, but no. And then I'm going to build a spaceport on this one as well. As long as it's neither anomaly or dust, which is true for everything, then that's good. Right. I think just to make it clearer, I'm just going to stick this down there, just to say that's associated with that. Right. Well, that's interesting then. So I've kicked him off there. So long, sucker. And I draw another card, which is an Explore 4. May upgrade as Emperor. Don't need to do that anymore though. Right, I've got bases everywhere. I'm going to start building colonies next time. Competition. Groombridge, 1618. Oh, I'm there already, and because I've got bases there, you can't do anything, so you suck. Boom. Nice. I love it when the competition misses a turn. I guess this is why they start with an advantage, right? Because they, you know, they're going to have a lot of missed turns, basically. I am now going to yeah, there's no point in getting the genetics round again, because I'm going to get this, which gives me a choice of primary tiles, and I basically explored everywhere I want to explore. Because the other factor here is that you have to, at the end of the game, the colony, if you get bonuses for the number of colonies you have, and there's no extra bonus money for having more than 4 colonies. Which kind of, I mean, it's nice to get some of these other ones as well, but some of these might kick in. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. There may be reasons to do that, because some of these colonies are their value is determined by the number of colonies you have. So I'm going to start colonizing. So it's an action. There's no card for it. You just say, I'm going to colonize, and that's an action. I am going to build a colony somewhere where I can get a value of 6. So how can I do that? Let's see, at the beginning, I mean, this one's got a colony value 2. This one's got a colony value of, this actually has 3, 4. So it's got 3 on the tiles. We go down this list. It's got 3 on the tiles, which is huge. It's got 1 if I have a nearby colony. I don't have a nearby colony. That's in a nearby system. I don't have one around it. So I've got 3 so far. I have an industrial base in the region, which I do. So I have 4. There's 2 or more bases. 2 or more bases in the region. I have 5. If I remove one of my teams, I get an extra. If I spend 8 from my infra, etc., which I actually have, I've got 8 here, but that will give me 6. If I spend 5 money, haha, no, I'm not going to do that because I lose 5 points. And if I own the Enviro Tolerance card, which I just got, so that's this one, that little dot at the top of the hex there, that's a colony point, basically. So theoretically, I've got a total of 7 now. More than enough to get a 6-pointer. And let's see what I can do. Because at the moment, like, the 2 6-pointers are, whenever you colonize, including this one, gain money equal to the number of colonies you control. That's going to build me some money, basically. This one, gain 1 money for every adaptation and breakthrough you own. I own 1, 2, 3, that's counting the ones off screen, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could get 8 money right now. Leaves the other 3 over here. I can get 8 money right now if I built that. If I built this one. Or if I took that one, then if I colonize now, I get 1 money, because it's equal to the number of colonies I control, including this one. And then for my second colony, I've actually got bases on, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places? Oh. This could affect things. So hang on. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got bases in 5 places. I have bases in 4 non-adjacent regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all non-adjacent. So I actually get the colony, the contract for that. Bam. So I get 3 money. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I should have got that earlier. Don't have any colonies with any value at the moment. Bases in 3 multi-star regions. None of them are multi-star regions. 7 progress cards. Wait a minute. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I've got 8 progress cards. So I actually get the contract for that. Boom. So I get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And bases in 6 regions. I don't have bases in 6 regions. So now we're up to this. Suddenly I've caught up just from getting contracts. So, going back to the colony, I can totally build a colony on there, and I was going to say if I manage to build colonies on all my bases here, no, all of my regions, then I'll get 1 money from using this colony thing here, but then I'll get 2 money, then another 3 money, then another 4 money, then another 5 money. So that will add up to more than 8 if I can get that done. Like 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 5 is 15. I could get a heck of a lot of money with that. If I take that now. I'm just worried that they're going to take the other one, but you know what? I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to build a colony here, and it's going to be this whenever you colonize thing, you get 1 money for equal to the number of colonies you control. So I'm going to get 1 money right now, which means I am on top of the competition there. We've got 40, we both got 48. So I caught up rapidly just from the contracts. Technically I should have done the contracts when I got them, but it doesn't really matter. Fascinating. Right. I am going to, I've got 4 cards, so I'm going to draw a card, and it is a divert. Play when the competition places an attraction, refinery, or exploiter base, the competition forfeits any profit from the placement. Ooh. But it doesn't give me the profit, it just forfeits it, basically. That's nice. Okay, competition turn. Interesting. AET and all offers. What's ET? Oh, that was the environmental tolerance, so it would have taken that one, but it's gone. But all offers go away. There is a revelation in here, so it loses 1 money, which is also good. So now I am ahead of there, but now he could screw me with 8 cards, so that's not going to be good. Also, we're getting low on the deck here. There's a genetics. There's a move times 2, build 4. Move times 3, move times 2. Double genetics. Quite nice. No edges. That's good. So I was hoping that I could get another revelation, but I think we've probably gone through most of them by now. So I don't know if I actually will. But there's no real genetics I want to get. I mean, this isn't really worth it, honestly. Right, I'm going to do another colony, because now I'm ramping this up. So again, we got to go through the checklist. So that's 1 colony. Right, let's start with Locale here. So we've got 1 colony point. I don't have a nearby colony. Do have an industrial. That's 2. Do have 2 or more bases. That's 3. If I remove one of my teams, I can get another one. I've got that's a single star system, right? I've got 8+ build in my hand or action cards. So I've got 8 here, right? Hand or infra. I've got 8 right here. So sorry, we were at 1, 2, 3. I'm on 4 now, and I've got 5. So I got 5 if I have the environment tolerance card, which I do. So if I get rid of that team, I will have 6, which means I can get this guy. Now the other 6s, whenever the competition colonizes, that's weird. Whenever an opponent or the competition colonizes, gain 1. Whenever your opponent colonizes, gain 2. Why would I want to take this one? Why would I ever want to take that one? That's a really weird one. It's 6 points. That's 6 points as well. But this is clearly more valuable and this is less valuable. Yeah, that's weird. And they're both things that I should be available here, so that's odd. Anyway, I'm going to take that 6 one because that's the fantastic one. That gets me 8 money because I have 8 of these progress cards. I've got 5 here, and I've got the 3 down here, which I'm just keeping down here just so that I can see. Actually, I don't need that one in there, just so I can see them down here to remind me. But I've got 8. I get 8 money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eat my dust competition. I'm on 56. Okay, I've got more than 5 cards, so I don't draw a card. Epsilon Eridani. Oh, unfortunate competition because that's my one, and I've got a base on there, and that means you don't get a turn. So if you have a base there, discard the card and end the turn. Boom. My turn again. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to colonize. Also, I've got to give me my 2 points because now I control 2 colonies. Because of that, I get another 2 points. Because it's whenever you colonize, including this one, gain money equal to the number of colonies you control. So now I'm going to colonize again, and I am going to colonize. Right, I was in the middle of deciding where to colonize because I was trying to pick a colony to go to. So I am going to pick whatever one of these is going to be good for getting a colony. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford a 6. Also, sorry, I should have removed this dude, shouldn't I? Because I used him up to get an extra point. So he's gone. So I don't think I'm in a terrible urge to get that. If I get a 4, I can get this one that is colonies with at least 16 value, which is quite nice. So, and then we're going to be up to 5 contracts. Can I get a 4? Alright, let's have a look. So they all have 1 colony point. They have no nearby colonies. These 2 have industrial, so that'd be 2, so that's already going over here. They all have 2 or more bases, so that's at least a 3. And I have the 8 build value in my infra already, and they're all not multi-star systems. And I have the enviro torrent, so that's 4, 5. So I can get up to a 5, which is quite nice. And if I get 1 more, I can get a 6, but that's the only one worth getting is whenever your opponent colonizes, get 2. I'm going to take this one, which is a 5 point. It's the at the end of the era, claim any 1 unfulfilled contract, and I'm going to put it on Captain Star here. And that gets me 3 money because now I have 3 colonies. 1, 2, 3. I'm now tearing ahead. I have 5 cards, so I'm not going to draw another one. Competition time. Contract 6. Sorry, mate. Contract 6 is already taken. Now that means, I think in this case, it does draw another card because Yeah, neither can be carried out. Discard the card and draw another competition card. So, Wolf 1061. Ew, where's that one? Where's Wolf 1061? Oh, it's down here. Right. They have that. And that means they have a competition team on it, but no base. And it's all the Explore boxes contain discovery tiles, they do. And the site Explore value is 4 or 7, then it places bases, then a colony. Right, drawing base time. Oops, there. There's multiple there. A secure, well that works. That will mean if I have fewer secure bases in play than the competition, you lose 1 money. I think I've got more bases, because all of my bases are secure because of my energy fields, and I have way more bases than he does, so I don't lose any money there. Thank you very much. And asteroid field. That is an eligible base because it can be built anyway. Asteroid field though. Oh, you fucker. Spaceport. That's annoying. If the competition has a colony in a region that is adjacent to an Orion Spur site containing no teams, it doesn't have a colony adjacent to an Orion Spur site, then place a competition team at the Orion Spur and award the competition money accordingly. Well, you don't have one, so you don't get anything. Haha. Right. So it's my turn again. How about we press on ahead and build yet another colony? So again, down here, I have 1 colony point, no nearby colonies. I have an industrial base, so that's 2 or more bases. I've got my 8+ from the builds, and I've got the enviro tolerance, so I've got 5 again. What would be nice? The end of the era, gain 1 money for every star system without a colony not Sol. How much would that be? There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. At least 7, 8, yeah. That could be a nice amount of money. Because I would like to move one of my guys off into the Orion Spur if I can at some point. I mean, might it be a wise idea to do that now? Can I do that now? Because at the moment I've got my move of 5. I've got a move of 6 at the moment here in my hand. So that'd be 11 times 6 is 66, which is not really enough to get out there. But if I took some of these cards, I could. I'm not in a huge rush. I'm going to take the end of era, gain 1 money for every star system without a colony. So that's going to be on Greenbridge 1618. That is now bringing me up to 4 colonies, so I get 4 money because of my get 1 money for every colony I control thing whenever I colonize. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am tearing ahead. I have more than 4 cards. Competition. Epsilon Indy. They've already got a base there. They've got team present and all the explore things contain discovery tiles. And the site explore cost is 10. It places bases. Hang on, how does it do a colony? There's got to be a way for it to do a colony. Competition has both a team and a base present. It places a colony. Right, so it does a colony there. So it has to so Epsilon in the 8. Well, I think I got the 8 because that was actually the one that gets more money for everything. So 8 is not available on here. If that is not available, choose a colony with the ID number closest in value. So that's either a 6 or a 9, and I've got the 6. Sorry, what am I talking about? 7 or a 9. So it's one of these. Whenever an opponent or the competition colonizes, get 1 money. If 2 colonies are equally close in value, choose a one with a lower ID number. So I'm getting the number 7. So whenever the opponent colonizes, gain 2 money. It also says the competition ignores all printed attributes of its colonies and does not receive profit at the end of the game for the number of colonies it owns. So it doesn't actually get this, it just builds a colony. So that's good. Excellent. And he's done. Remove all competition teams from the site. So you've got 2 colonies so far. I have 4. So at the moment I'm getting a bonus of 13 money because of having 4 colonies at the end of the game, and he's only getting a bonus of 4. So I'm even further in the lead. At this point, there's no real reason for me to colonize anymore. Short of, unless it gives me some money right away or something like that. And none of them honestly really give me anything. Whenever an opponent colonizes, gain 1 money. Okay, that might be handy. If it colonizes a couple more times, I'm only going to get 2 money. At the moment, it actually can't colonize except here. Whenever I colonize, gain 1 money. If I colonize again, sure. Gain 1 money for every 2 competing colonies in play. Again, there's only 2 of them. I only get 1 money. So at this point, I can probably concentrate on trying to get my guys out of here, or get one of my guys out of here at least, if I can. So I'm going to do a research action. I've got 5 cards, so I can do it. So at the moment, I have a move, with this card in my hand, I have a move of 66. If I take this, I can multiply that to 192, I think? Yeah, 180 plus 12, right? Which is more than enough to get me to the Orion Spur from anywhere. Also, I have colonies here and here, so actually I can only go from here or here, but either way I can do it. So I think I am going to take this, and I'm going to take one from the deck, which is a produce one and a genetics one, which is perfect, because now I've got 2 produce things, which would get me even more points. So that's grand. Ooh, and I could get these as well later on and get even more points. Right. That's good. Alright, I have more than 4 cards. Competition time. Hack. No, hang on, that's I'm not looking at. Epsilon Eridani again. Now I've got that, so you're not doing that. Let's see what happens if I turn the light on here, if that's going to bugger everything up. hopefully that's gonna not make everything horrible. We'll see how it goes. But if I move that down out of the glare, hopefully that's okay, because it's starting to get dark. I'm actually playing this for so long that it's starting to get dark now. Alright, so that was his turn. Now it's my turn. So now, if I play the move and... oh yeah, hang on, wait a minute. Before I do that, ages ago, so colonies with at least 16 value, I've got that now. Because I've got 6, 12, 17, 22. I've easily got that. Which means, because this colony thing is back here, or this contract thing is back here, I actually get the money for this, and this, and this. So that's 3, plus 2, plus 4. I get 9 money from getting this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am crushing the competition. Also, I don't have bases in multi-star regions. I don't have bases in 6 regions, but I could get bases in 6 regions, and that would end the game. But for now, I'm going to kick off, send my guy out into the Orion Spur from, I think I'm going to go from Groombridge. So I have 11 times 6 times 3 is 18, is whatever, 192, right? Or whatever it was. It's way over 100 anyway. I'm going to move from Groombridge into the Orion Spur, and I'm going to get another 5 money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am even further ahead. Still have more than 5 cards, so that's good. So whenever this deck runs out, that triggers the end game. But if we get up to, and at the moment we are, this is the score and everything so far. So if 6 contracts get done over here, if one more orange disc moves up to here or up there, then we end the game. So I am in a position now though where I can get a 6th bases in a 6th region, because I can move down to here, let's say, from here, or move them over to some other region, I don't know, maybe down here, and see if I can gazump Lumen 16. But if I come down here, I need 50 move, and then if I start doing my exploring, etc. here, and getting a base there, I've got 6 regions, and I can end it. So, trick is at the moment, I have 30 move, which means it's enough to get here to Ross 780. But I need more. I'm going to let's save that one. I'm going to thrum. Oh, watch it now. I've only got 2 guys left on the board, 2 teams left on the board. I can 1, 2, 3, 4. I can still research. Got 30. I only need 60 to get down to the KL 9352, which is here. If I just get this, I can double my. I can play that and double my move to 60 anyway, right? So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to research. I'm going to get this card. And I'm going to get one card from here. Oh, that's a move ×4 anyway, so that's fantastic. And then I'm going to draw that out there. Competition turn. All offers research. So this could be interesting. If he screws me again with an edge. Oh, another genetics revelation. Oh, edge intercept. Competition takes another turn after this one. Okay. Another revelations. Research genetics. Produce genetics. Right, we're getting down to the last 3 cards. And the competition is going to take another turn because of that intercept. Oh, he's just killed it. Oh, BJD and all offers. So this is all going to go away, and then these are going to go, and that's it. So unfortunately, I can't get the 6 bases one. Nuts. Although I'm miles ahead anyway. But he doesn't get the jump drive. That's BJD as the jump drive. He doesn't take that because he didn't take the other one of these, so he doesn't have the requisite for it. But he does take all the offers away. Now, because this is actually quite... Oh, this is... Oh, interesting. It's all offers with a star next to it. That means that this kicks in. But he loses 1 for revelation and adds 1 money for genetics, and of course they all have revelations and genetics, and some of them have more than, you know, some of them have both of them. So what does that mean if they have both? What do they do? Each genetics card discarded, but gains 1 for each revelation card discarded. I'm going to take that to mean this is both a genetics card and a revelation card. This is a revelation card, this is a genetics card, this is a genetics card. So actually what happens is it gains 3 money for the genetics cards, and it loses 2 money for the revelations cards, so it actually just gains 1 money overall, so it pops it up to there. I think that's how that works, just going by logic there. Sadly all those nice actions got removed. And then, right, so it's got that, and there's an edge, which could be a pain, but that's going to go away anyway. It's a hack. Discard all research cards from your hand and offer boxes replenish empty offers. Well, I can't do that. Have I got any research in my hand? I do not. So that's good. Right. We're at the end. We have no cards left in the Starfarers deck. So that means either draw pile has been emptied. If this occurs, you take 1 more turn, then your era ends. So unfortunately, I can't move out and explore and all that, but I do have 2 produce cards, which I am going to use to produce. Now I have a refinery here on a P3, so that is a that will give me 4 money from that hex. And I have, I'm sure I had one somewhere else that was quite high. Got a refinery here, that's a 3 because it's a P2. Don't have one there, don't have one there, don't have one there. So yeah, I've got this one. So that's 4, and because I've got 2 producers, I produce from 2 tiles, so I'm going to produce from this one, which is 3. So I get another 7 points. 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is it, except so this is gone, except at the end of the game we do one more thing. Where does it say what that is? So we're at the end, but now, what does it actually say that? Winning the game, there we go. When the Starfarers Era ends, you never the competition, gains additional profit for colonies you control as follows. 4+ colonies gain 13 money. I am down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've just lapped at the competition. After profit for colonies, oh, hang on, let's have a look. Now also, hang on though, because it should say, shouldn't it, that I get the profit from at the end of the era, claim any one unfulfilled contract. Because if I did, I would get another 4, because the bases in the 3 multi-star regions and the bases in the 6 regions, which is this and this, both have 4 money on them, but it doesn't say that I do get that, which is interesting. Let me just check the multiplayer book for a sec and see if it says something different. Yeah, because in the multiplayer book it says, when the era ends, players owning colonies that give benefits at the end of the era gain those awards. Then they adjust their profits based on the number of colonies. But this one does not say that. This says, when the Starfarer era ends, you gain additional profit for colonies you control as follows, and then after profit, whatever. So I guess that doesn't count here. But anyway, after profit for colonies, if your total exceeds the competition's by 11 money or more, you win and dominate explored space. Well, I'm not 1 ahead here, I'm 50 ahead. So I left the competition in the dust. From behind, I mean, I was behind at the start of this era. I was like, I think it was something like 36. Like, he was there and I was up here or something, or 34. I think he had 34 and I had 26. And I have now ended up with the competition at 48 and me at 99. So wow. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget to do anything. Yeah, yeah, I guess I just slaughtered him. So that's why they have the head start, I guess. So anyway, that was SpaceCorp. That was SpaceCorp by GMT Games, and it took about 3 and a bit hours to do that for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Whoops. We're still here. Yep. So yeah, there we go. I love this game. Solo is fun to play, again just because of this unpredictability of the competition, and multiplayer it's great as well because of course you're playing against other people, and it goes quicker I think in multiplayer. I don't know why it was slow this time around. I think I just wasn't in a rush because there's nobody to, who's waiting for me to play my turn basically. But yeah, it is a brilliant game. It should still be available. It may be hard to track down in your local game store because some game stores are funny about stocking GMT games for some reason. Like, They're not as popular as all your big mainstream, Euros and Scythe and Wingspan and all whatever the other hotness of the moment is. But this is a solid game. It's really well designed. The designer is John Butterfield, who I will admit I had never heard of him before, but he's big in wargaming circles. He's done some, later found out that he's done some fairly popular war games. It shows that this is made by someone who knows their stuff, and it's also Chad Jensen is involved in this as well. He wrote Dominant Species, I think, is his. That's also by GMT, and I think he did Combat Commander as well, which was another really big popular game, at least in the wargaming circles, by GMT. But yeah, I mean, between them, they've just come up with this awesome game. I believe somebody else was involved as well. Hang on. It's a John Butterfield game, but I could have sworn there's a third person involved somewhere along the way. But I don't know if it says anywhere, if it clarifies that. Hang on. Yeah, game design, John Butterfield, development, Chad and Kai Jensen. So that's probably the other person I'm thinking of. But that's all the credits here anyway, for this awesome little game. But yeah, like they've knocked. I mean, the design of it generally of the game is just great. Like the physical appearance of the game is great. The manuals, I mean, look at the cover art on these. I mean, this is awesome. Really nice artwork. The layout inside is really good. It's nice that they give you a separate solo book as well. It's, the player aids are great. We got the competition ones here, the solo player aid. Everything about this is great. I mean, like, the art on the cards, it's not bad. It's absolutely not bad, but I mean, you look at it, it's very kind of 90s CGI, really. It does its job, but it looks a little bit old-fashioned, but it gives it a little kind of charm, really, I think. And it does actually kind of at least in some cases, the cards tie in with the like what's on them. Like, this is a Clone Forge. It's got Produce 1 and Genetics 1. This is an Antimatter Surveyor. It's got Move ×4 and Explore 4, because you'd expect that from an Antimatter Surveyor. I wonder what the Revelation and Genetics double... Yeah, Evo accelerators, so Evolution accelerators. Genetics 2, Revelations 1. Meta Investigators, Move ×4, Revelation 1. That's an odd one. Genome Accelerator, Research 2, Genetics 1. So they do kind of tie in. Obviously, like the Move ones are mostly just antimatter boosters or fusion drives or whatever. But yeah, I mean, everything about this is so good. It's propelled itself to the top of my list when it comes to favourite games. Like, this is a brilliant game. If you have liked what you have seen here, then by all means, either get your game store to order it in if they don't have it, or find a place online that you can order it from, or order it direct from GMT, which is probably the best, a good option if you're in the US at least. If you're elsewhere, you're going to be a little bit screwed by shipping and currency conversion and so on. But track this game down. It is SpaceCorp. That's what it looks like. Yeah, get hold of this game. It's brilliant. cannot recommend it highly enough, if that's the right phrase. I recommend it a lot, basically. Right, with that, I am going to head off. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're still here after that interruption, which I will now yell at Shaw for. Interestingly, we didn't find any aliens. This is what the aliens look like before I go. So they're basically really good really good tiles. They've got like Genetics 1, Rev 1, Revelations 1. They most of them have colony points on them. They all have at least one Revelations on. Some have Genetics. Most have money on them. The only problem ones are the phobes and the entrovs, which is what this little text box is about. And the phobes kick you out of their system unless you have the energy fields breakthrough, which is this one. And that's why it says protects against phobes at the bottom. If you do have that, you can just go, yeah, whatever, I've got energy fields, I can build a colony in your system no matter what anyway, so screw you. And the introvs are basically, they're so uncommunicative that you can't actually negotiate with them to build colonies in their system or something. So you actually need to have the cooperative empathy, which we don't have in the solo game, or the sensory focus adaptation card, which we do, in order to build a base there. Otherwise you can't build them. But they don't kick you out, they're just sort of awkward, basically. Alright, anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed that. I'll stitch these two parts together on at some point. I don't know if I'll be able to do it today, but for now I will leave the two parts up on Twitch, and once I've merged them together I will put that up as an upload on Twitch, and of course I will put that up on YouTube, but that might not be for a day or two, just depending on when I have time. Right, okay, I think next week I was thinking I might see if I can give a solo Space Empires 4X a go. So that is another GMT game, another sci-fi game, which is odd. It's kind of funny because GMT don't usually do sci-fi games, but I'm just picking the two of the three I think they've done so far. Because there's SpaceCorp, Space Empires 4X, and Talon are the ones that I can immediately think of. But I think I'll do a solo playthrough of Space Empires next week, which should be fun. It's more like a hex encounter-y kind of game, but you're spreading out through space, exploring, building up your technology. But in the solo game, you are faced with doomsday machines a la Star Trek, the original series. If you remember that big cone-shaped thing that the Enterprise faced at one point, that was destroying planets. It's basically that. But you have to basically cope with them attacking you and try and destroy them, and they're super powerful and ridiculous. So that should be a laugh, watching me getting utterly pummeled by those. But yeah, that'll be next week. I'm gonna do that next Friday, or this coming Friday, whatever that date is. I think Monday's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, April the 5th, 8 o'clock. I will at least start it then, and if it carries on, if it runs too long, then obviously I'm not going to finish it that night. I'll do another Sunday stream or something, or maybe do it on Monday, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, so next one is April the 5th, 8 PM, Space Empires solo game. I have been Evil Dr. Ganymede. thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta!